Violence is usually the arm of the impotent.
This is Daniele Antezza from southern Italy, also known as Inner8, his new project, and one half of the famous project Dada. And he moved to Berlin a couple of years ago and is a specialist for trippy electronics, very deep and dark sounds, and he loves broken beats, but he also is a lot into experimental sound textures. And yeah.
Thank you, Susanne. That's
You're
lovely. And this is Susanne for Electric Indigo. Well, first of all, she's an amazing DJ. I've actually been always impressed by her live set, DJ sets also, because of the ability to mix kind of energetic and hypnotic beats with a unique aesthetic approach. That's why I got in contact with her, and she was also supporting a lot Dada, and so that's why we started a friendship, and there is like a big respect between us.
Now, I think we met about in person about 3 years ago. I can remember that I first said hello to you at About Blank.
Yeah, I think it was About Blank or Suicide Circus, actually. One of them, I don't remember.
I think it was About Blank.
Yeah.
And then we met again at the hard wax party. What's it called? The wax treatment.
Yeah. It's long we are talking about the opportunity to have kind of collaboration or something together. So far, as Dada, we realized a remix for her on Suicide Circus, actually.
And now we're playing at the same festival. Imagine that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Krake Festival is kind of important because I've got in contact with it like I think in 2008. It was the first edition or the second, I don't remember. And I was like just a user. I mean, I was just going, and I mean, I was impressed by the coexistence of both aesthetics, experimental and club. It's actually the kind of mix from where I also feel to come from. I love to mix this kind of attitudes. I mean, with Nico, we had like connections and many collaborations, and we also played for Krake already a couple of times, and so it's anyway in Berlin. It's part of my background, so it's in a way even kind of natural for me to support all this, and I'm pretty happy. Even because, in my opinion, it pushes kind of really interesting aesthetic in the club. I mean, it provides something a little bit different than the usual cliche. Yeah, this year I'm gonna experience this live set with my new solo project Inner8.
Violence is usually the arm of the impotent.
I mean, I'm researching a lot on the live performance. I mean, it's much more hardware oriented, and I'm trying to give more space to improvisation and this kind of things. So I mean, I feel it different because I'm just experimenting a part of myself which came not so out during my past performances. So, and I'm happy because anyway it's gonna be kind of bodies into Krake, this other interesting event. So I usually like to use the word like physical approach to what I like to think about my set. So I'm really happy to test it actually. Yeah.
That makes me think of one DJ set I saw Daniele play so far. It's
really
a
fun.
very physical approach, yes, like full body impact. Yes, I'm really looking forward to playing at Krake Festival finally, because I've known it for years now, and I have been doing like experimental listening concerts for over 10 years, and usually they always have been very separated from anything club related, more in the academic context almost, or pretty much, and I'm quite happy that now I'm able to combine these two areas. So it's like, my background is a very club oriented background as a DJ, techno DJ, and then now I can bring the two spheres together at Krake Festival, which I'm really happy about. The piece I'm going to perform is an audiovisual piece called pheme, that is based on an idea I had and realized together with a relatively young Austrian visual artist called Wagen. And we based the whole piece on one sentence Sadie Plant said at the panel I took part about 1.5 years ago at the CTM Festival, and she says something about noise and cybernetics. She said to put noise into the system is a fine art, both in cybernetics and in making music too, which is a sentence I can totally relate to from a philosophical standpoint and also from an artistic, aesthetical standpoint. And Thomas felt the same way, and I had a recording of her saying this, and I made the whole music out of this recording. And this is what I've been doing in the past years a lot, really, with a lot of digital means. So my main instrument is the computer. I'm working kind of anti-cyclical there. Everybody turns to hardware, like Daniela as well. And I'm totally specializing into digital tools, especially granular synthesis and spectral transformations. Pheme is about noise, and it's about the sentence, and it's about what you can do with a very restricted or limited starting point where you can go to. I think the sounds I was able to derive from that sentence are quite widespread and quite diverse. And also Thomas created like a really wide variety of visual interpretations. He made like 3D objects of every single character of that sentence and started to work with these 3D objects. It's not a new piece though. It was performed already this year at CTM Festival, but it's going to be a different version. I want to add one more part, like a beat part, because it's rather ambientish. But it has like the last part so far was like with a sort of slightly industrial feel. I want to add one more part with beats that has this kind of repetitive feeling. Because it's Krake and it's Suicide Circus where we're going to perform it. But it's a listening concert kind of thing, nevertheless.
For me, it's really important to translate this idea of noise as something who, in a way, who can like hack the already done codes, cultural codes of a society, of a group of humans, in a way. And through the art, it's like if I can create a link with what I do and what I am as person. So it's actually an exercise of praxis in a way for me. So it's not just like creating something aesthetically beautiful or like just performing it. It's in a way part of my life path. What can I say? Aesthetically, I just like to translate all these ideas in a live performance, and it's gonna be anyway every time different. And the point is just for me pushing as much as I can, like the aesthetics or my ideas to the borders.
Yeah, noise is like the opposite of a clean signal, and so that makes the signal interesting, basically.
The idea, let's say the cultural interpretation of noise changes during, so it's even really interesting to understand how the art interacts with this process of interpretation during the time.
Doing an audiovisual piece is something completely different from doing an audio-only piece. Nevertheless, it is possible, for example, with pheme, to perform it as an audio concert only without the visuals. So it's not completely dependent from each other, but it's a different performance, and it's a very different experience, I think, especially if it's meant to work together. There is a huge difference between visuals that are just kind of decorating the ambience of a performance space, or visual composition that goes together with an audio composition and vice versa. So that is basically my approach, but as I don't do very often audiovisual pieces with other artists, and I'm not a visual artist myself, I couldn't say that it is super important for my work. It's just when I do it, it's up. Of course, it's necessary to have like the right partner to realize it.
Now with the Inner8 in general, with undog tisch, I'm trying to put the visual aspect at the same time of the music production process. For example, with Valentina Bardazzi, we are working in this way. She actually paints and she think about her drawings. In the meanwhile, with Jem, for example, no, and she actually gives her sketches, her ideas, and starting on these sketches, we imagine how to give an aesthetic view to our piece of music and so on. I was really, what can I say? I got in contact with this approach years ago when I prepared a show in a theater in southern Italy. It was a show related with Arto, and it was really beautiful because in that time I had this collaboration with these avant-garde jazz musicians, and they were like thinking about, they were preparing their jam just drawing geometries, no? And so they were like giving an expressive interpretation to the jam, just following these sketches, visual sketches, no? So
like a score, no?
Exactly.
Yeah, like a graphical score.
Or score, or even kind of perspective, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also like with Federico for the next Inner8, or anyway for the next like undog tisch, anyway visual work, we want to work in this way also with the technology. Lately we were thinking also to maybe customize some Max for live devices, like to create something who can like create and generate sound and visual together, anyway trigger all these things together. Because I would really love to experiment like this creation process with and through visual feedbacks. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, music is an experience. I mean, if you think about like gamelan or like the South Korean, anyway, the kind of Asian way to express music is not like listening to music or like going to watch something. It's the same. I mean, you have this like hyper technical and extremely complex like execution of like gamelan pieces, but they are like super dressed and they are kind of super coordinated in the movements. So you have no perception anymore of listening and watching. Becomes kind of fusion of both feedbacks. No, we just love you guys. I mean, super happy to be part again to Krake.
Aww.